with it anymore, Maxine.
Oh, crikey, Mum, I was only round at Pauline.
If it's not there, it's somewhere else. You take off without saying a word, leaving me to manage the garage on my own.
Well, Mike's there.
It's not the point. Now, look, you were sent here on the understanding that you'd be able to help me out.
I want you both up and out of this cell within 1 minute. Oh, I suppose you think you've been very clever. Well, I wonder what the governor will think of this deceitful little prank. You'll both report to her straight after breakfast.
Police, please. I'd like to make a report on the Williams Lane robbery. No, I don't want to leave my name. The person you should be questioning is Maxine Daniels.
Oh, come on, Maxine. There are customers waiting. I've only got one pair of hands, you know.
Be all right, Mum. I'll be there in a minute.
I've told you before, Maxine, this isn't a charitable institution. I can't manage on my own.
All right, Mum. I said I'm coming. So bloody busy. Why give Mike the day off? Yeah.
Maxine, it's Pauline. Are you okay?
Yeah, sure am. Hey, you sound a bit funny. What's up?
Oh, Maxie, they're on their way. You gotta get out of there. Oh, I didn't mean to.
Hey, back up a minute. You lost me halfway down the track. Who's on their way?
The police. They know about the robbery. You just gotta get out.
But how the bloody hell? Paulie, you didn't.
Oh, I didn't want to. Honestly, Maxie, I just panicked.
You bitch!
Maxie, please.
You rotten bitch, after all the things I did for that ratbag of a husband of yours. You bitch!
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey!
And I think it best we understand each other right now. I will not tolerate deceit. I am not unsympathetic to your situation, but don't mistake that for weakness. I'm aware of your age, but if there's any more trouble, you'll be sent to solitary.
Believe me, Mrs. Reynolds, I wouldn't break the rules for the world. Well, it was all a misunderstanding. I didn't know there was alcohol in that stuff.
That's hard to believe, Kennedy. Mrs. Morris's report states you asked for that cough mixture by name.
Yes, but that is because Lizzie told me to. You see, I've had this terrible cough, and Lizzie's been sort of looking after me. Well, on account of I've not been inside before, and, well, she knows the ropes. And, of course, I took her word for it. Of course, if I thought for a moment that she... Well, I don't want to get her into any trouble.
All right. But just remember what I said. Is Birdsworth outside, Mrs. Powell?
She is. Shall I bring her in?
Yes, please. That'll be all, Kennedy.
Well, there was just one more thing, Mrs. Reynolds. I don't want to be a nuisance, but, well, I do need to see my lawyer. I'm anxious to get on with my appeal.
All right. Mrs. Powell, perhaps you'd get someone to take Kennedy to a phone, would you?
Shall do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Come on.
So you don't want to get me into any trouble, eh? Well, you've got a very funny way of going about it.
Come in, Lizzie.
Let's go, ma'am.
Hey! Mrs. Tomey! Listen, I'm in an awful hurry. Can I talk to Spud, please?
You can if you can find him. He's not here.
Oh, crikey. How long's he been gone?
Oh, about an hour or so. He just threw a few things into a bag and took off.
I suppose that's something anyhow. Don't suppose he said where he was going?
To me? You gotta be joking. He didn't even tell me where he'd been when they let him out of the slammer. When you see him, you
Yeah,
tell him
I'll
to me.
tell him to write. See you later, Mrs. Toomey.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Maxine Daniels?
Don't suppose you believe me if I said no.
I don't suppose we would. Come along.
Well, I was only borrowing the car, see? and-
Car? That's the least of your worries. I'm taking you for robbery with violence. Now, where's Toomey?
He's somewhere where your flat feet will never
Come
find
on,
him.
Daniel.
He's too quick for Trumbo's right
Daniel.
Hey, does that mean I'll be going back to Wentworth?
What do you think?
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
And it is our opinion that a system which locks up women of more than 70 years of age is both immoral and unjust. Maggie May Kennedy, now facing old age,
Hey, wait a minute.
has been...
How about now in the twilight of her life?
The twilight of her life.
I saw it once in a movie. It was real corny. I'll give them straight in the guts.
Okay. Twilight. Maggie May Kennedy, now in the twilight of her life, should be returned immediately to the United States, the country she has chosen as her homeland. Australians pride themselves on giving people a fair go, and what we're asking for is a fair go for Maggie Kennedy, something our system of justice seems incapable of offering her. Signed B. Smith. What do you reckon?
I think you deserve the Pulitzer Prize. It's fabulous.
Bloody load of claptrap.
What do you want about, Lizzie?
Bloody waste of time writing all those fancy words. I mean, who's going to read them? How are you going to get it out of here?
That's a fact. If Po-Face sees that, she'll pounce on it straight away.
Yeah. What we need is someone who can take it out personally.
And I know just the person. It so happens that my lawyer is coming today. Oh, such a sweet man. Now, I'll slip it to him, and he'll see that the newspaper gets it.
Well, it's a bit risky, isn't it? What if he gives it to the Screws?
Oh, he won't. No, he's just as keen as we are to get me out of here.
Got him twisted around your little finger too, have you?
Just one last thing. Do you want to all sign this yourselves, or just sign up Women from Wentworth, or call ourselves something trendy?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know, Prisoners Justice for All Committee.
Oh, I like that. Oh, it's classy.
Yes, Justice for All Committee. There you go. Finished.
Oh, come on, ladies. You are supposed to be working. Give it a try.
Oh, I was hoping someone would join me. I hate drinking alone.
I'll get a cup later. I've been looking for you. We have just had word that Maxine Daniels is on her way back. Police picked her up a couple of hours ago.
What a pity. I was hoping we wouldn't see her again. She seems a nice enough kid.
Nice enough, yeah. I've arranged to put her in with Kennedy and Birdsworth. She and Lizzie, they're mates from way back.
I think that's a good idea, putting a young one in with two, well, to be tactful, elderly ladies.
Oh, now, I don't think Kennedy'd appreciate that description.
That's true. She's hardly the kindly grandmother type, is she? You know, every time I have anything to do with her, I walk away with the feeling I've been well and truly conned.
Well, she certainly has been a hit with the women. Even Smith's taken with her. So that was a score we needn't have worried about.
Oh, I think she's something of a novelty at the moment. They need something new every now and again to break the boredom.
Yes, I agree. Has Meg spoken to you about her idea?
No, not yet. What is it?
Pottery classes. It would give the women a chance to work with their hands, and if nothing else, it could keep them out of trouble.
I think that's a marvellous idea.
Do you?
Yes. Of course, I'd rather they did something they could use when they get out of here, but I think they'd enjoy it. I know I would. Of course, we'd need someone experienced to take the classes.
Oh, no problem at all. Judy Bryan's friend Wally, he's a pottery teacher.
You think he'd be interested?
Let's say I do think he could be persuaded.
Good. Well, I'll get onto the department right away, see what award we can pay him. I'll leave it to you to talk him into it.
Do you think the department will agree?
You leave the department to me. No point in letting a good idea go stale, is there?
No point at all.
Oh, and I want to talk to Daniels as soon as she arrives, okay?
Major, you little devil, what are you doing in there?
Hey, lady, when are you going to do something about that bloody mongrel dog of yours?
Oh, yes, my friendly next-door neighbour. Mr. Coulson, isn't it?
There's nothing very neighbourly about letting your dog crap all over my lawn. I'm sick and tired of cleaning it up.
Major is locked in my backyard when I go to work. Now, I can hardly be blamed if he's able to burrow under the fence, can I?
Well, who else is to blame? A dog like that should be on a chain.
What?
Ugly-looking thing, and I don't want it coming near my daughter. That dog is savage. It could bite her. Slobbers all over her.
Major doesn't bite anyone. Besides, have you bothered to talk to your daughter? She just might enjoy playing with him. Did that ever occur to you?
But don't get smart with me, lady. Are you going to chain that dog up or not?
Well, I don't mind cleaning up your lawn,
Look, don't
but
bother, because the next time I catch it in my place, I'm going to put a bullet between its eyes. You understand? I'm going to shoot the bloody thing.
Are you sure there isn't anything you want to say to me?
What's to say? It's a fair cop, I suppose.
But why? You had everything going for you. A job, a home, a family. There doesn't seem to be any reason for it.
Oh, please, Mrs. Reynolds, I don't want to talk about it. It won't do any good.
All right. But I can't tell you how disappointed I am to see you back here.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Well, if ever you want to talk about it, I'm always ready to listen. I'd like to help if I could. Understand? All right. Mrs. Powell, take you to the showers, would you? And she can join the others for lunch.
Okey-doke. Come on, Maxine.
It was so hot that year. It had rained for 10 months.
6 months.
Must have been around 1933, I reckon.
Well, you reckon wrong. It was 1934.
Jeez, I wasn't even thought of then.
Hang on. It was 1936. I remember because that was the summer that your Blossom spent a whole week trying to get me into the wool shed.
What for?
But it wasn't a couch shape.
Oh, you're damn right it wasn't. Boy, was he randy. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Probably because it was the only offer you ever had.
Oh, come on, honey. I believe you're jealous.
Big thumb I am. My Blossom was a good bloke. Wasn't his fault that he went after loose women.
Loose women? He fancied anything that moved.
Have you still got that bloody letter safe?
Sure. Why?
Because the sooner you get out of Wentworth and back where you came from, the better.
Oh, come on, honey. I don't know what you think you heard, but you're wrong.
Oh, come on, both of you. Why don't you just eat your lunch? All this happened more than 50 years ago.
Sure, you're so right, Bee.
Hey, Bee, it's Maxie.
How's she doing back in here?
Mrs. Powell, I'm feeling too crook to eat. Can I go to the rec room or something?
So good. Leave it, Smith.
Leave what, Mrs. Powell?
You know what I mean. Go and finish your lunch.
God, I didn't expect to see her back in this place again. What do you reckon went wrong, Bee?
I don't know, love. I'm sure as hell going to find out.
G'day.
Is that all you got to say for yourself?
Well, what do you expect me to say?
Well, you could start by telling us what the hell you're doing back inside.
Yeah, if I got out of here, you wouldn't
Keep out of this, Phil. Well?
I got pinched for robbery with assault and nicking a car.
You what? What's wrong with you, Maxine? When are you going to grow up?
Silly little bugger. The way you go on, sometimes I think your brains are in your bum.
Well, thanks a lot. I can see you're real pleased to see me.
No, we're not. You silly little idiot. You had a chance to make something of yourself. Don't expect us to be pleased because you blew it.
Well, if that's the way you feel, you can just shove it. I've had up to here with lectures. First Mum, then the Governor, and... Well, and now you lot. You're supposed to be me friends. I don't like being back here either, but I didn't have no choice.
Oh, bull. Now, that's a cop-out and you know it.
No, it's not. What about you? I heard how you wasted knowledge. Did you have a choice?
No, I didn't. I had to do it. And that's different.
Oh, no, it's not. You did what you had to do, and I did what I had to do. So just get off me back, will you?
I'll go after her and see if I
No,
can put
no, love, leave her alone. I think we've said too much already. Give her a chance to cool down.
Now, Major, come on. Sit. Sit, boy, sit. Good fella. Come on, here we are.
Hello, Toby!
Don't call the dog, please. I'm trying to train him.
I haven't got a dog of mine and he plays with me. What's his name? I call him Toby.
His name's Major.
Major, you're a good dog, aren't you, Major?
Your father doesn't seem to think so. Now, why don't you run along and leave the dog alone?
I can't get in, the door's locked.
Well, haven't you got a key?
Yes, but Mum took it when she went out.
I see.
Couldn't I come with you? Major would like me to, wouldn't you, boy?
Look, I don't think so. Perhaps some other time, eh?
Chilly, what are you doing over here? I've told you before not to bother people.
I can't get in, Mum.
It's all right. She was no bother.
Miss Ferguson, isn't it? I'm sorry about Jilly. She's animal crazy.
Can't I have one, Mummy, please?
No, darling.
Mrs. Colson, I've never had any trouble with my neighbours. And I can understand your little girl liking Major. But I will not put up with the threats that your husband has made, neighbours or not.
Threats? I don't understand.
He said that if Major burrowed under the fence again, he'd shoot him.
No, he didn't mean it, I'm sure. He's a difficult man, Miss Ferguson. Please don't... I'm terribly sorry. Come on, Jilly.
Bye,
go
Major.
home.
See you, Miss Ferguson.
Des, come on, wake up. Get up!
What?
Couldn't you have kept an eye on Jilly?
What are you on about? She's all right.
You locked her out!
So what do you want, a fight or something?
No.
You're bloody well gonna get one if you keep this up. No one tells me what to do in my own house.
Jilly, go and play in your room or something, love.
That's right. Now try and turn the kid against me.
Oh, for God's sake, Des, I thought at least you'd watch her while I went out and got a job. It isn't easy, you know. Should try it sometime.
So don't get smart with me. You know why I can't work. I didn't do me back in on purpose.
I never said you did. Only...
What?
Nothing.
Did you find anything?
I might pick up a couple of nights waitressing. It's better than nothing.
What do you mean, might?
I'm on standby in case one of the regular girls is sick or wants a night off.
And that's it? All bloody day? That's the best you can do?
Give me a chance. I've got another appointment at 4 o'clock. I just came home to get changed. Maybe you could get Jilly a sandwich or something if I'm late.
I'll look after Jilly. You just make sure you get a bloody job.
Hey, come on, Lizzie, that's the third time you've folded that same sheet.
What? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Hey, what's up, love? You're not letting that kid get to you, are you?
Oh, B, it makes me so mad I could spit chips. You remember little Maxie when she first came in here? Everything was one big joke. Look at her now. The rate she's going to end up in here for life.
Yeah, well, it makes me mad too, but you can't live her life for her.
And you can't even talk to her. She's so bloody stubborn and one-eyed about everything.
Now, who else do we know who's like that?
What do you mean?
Come on, love. You know the reason she makes you so mad? She reminds you of you. She is a chip off this old block.
Do you reckon?
Too right. You're like 2 peas out of the pod. Now, is that so terrible?
Of course it is. Don't you see? That's the last thing I want to happen to her. A bloody no-hoper who's always in strife and gonna end up the rest of her days in this rotten hole.
And I don't think I've lost the knack, Mrs. Stone, even though it has been a few years. Oh, and I've demonstrated other things apart from makeup. Electrical appliances, you know.
You seem very anxious to get this job, Mrs. Coulson. You haven't even asked me the salary.
Well, it's not just the money. I shop here myself sometimes, and I think it would be a good place to work. And I like working with customers. You know, making real contact with them.
I wonder, Mrs. Coulson, if you're ready for this kind of work yet. If you don't mind me saying so, you seem a little jumpy.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm really all right. My nerves have been bad lately, but that's only because I'm not working.
Look, I think you'd find the job a little bit much at the moment. We have to think of both you and our customers. Why don't I put your name on our files, in case something comes up in a few months?
Well, I'm sorry, but yes, that is official. Sorry, no comment. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh,
The press?
yes, some pushy young journalist who's hoping I'd put my foot in it over this Kennedy business. Apparently there's quite an uproar going on. Some consul at the United States Embassy is going to lodge a formal protest with the minister.
What good's that going to do?
Apparently they intend to demand Kennedy's extradition to America, all of which puts me in the hot seat as governor.
What are you going to do about it?
Right now I'm going to ring Douglas. I think the best thing is to let him decide on the next move. No, I'm afraid I can't tell you anything. No, not at this stage. Goodbye.
More press?
Oh, yes, they've been calling every few minutes. Well, I'm glad you're here. I haven't been told the department's view on this yet, and I haven't known what to say.
Oh, you said exactly the right thing, absolutely nothing. Well, this only came up this morning. Actually, I was on my way here when you called me.
But I can't keep saying no comment.
No, you'll have to, I'm afraid. Of course, the department will be making an official statement later on, but you needn't worry about that. That'll be my job.
Just what is the department's view on this? I mean, if the Americans are serious about extradition, we could end up looking like idiots. They snap their fingers and we jump.
No, that will not happen, believe me. Not while I'm involved. The woman broke the law here. We caught her. She's ours.
Then you think she should stay in prison here?
Well, there's no question about it. Anyway, that'll be the stand we'll be taking when we do make our statement. In the meantime, we'll let the press stew on its own juices for a while. Won't hurt them.
Hi. Where's Jilly?
Doing her homework. You didn't get the job. That's all I needed.
Look, it's not that bad, Des. I've got more interviews tomorrow. Maybe something will come of one of them.
Well, it better, Carol. Otherwise, you have to phone that bitch of a mother of yours and get your old man to lay out a few hundred. I know what they think of me, but they won't let the little girl go hungry.
Yeah, OK, Des, if we have to.
No point asking what's for tea. I see you're already having yours.
I need them to keep me going. I'll make tea now.
Don't bother. I'm going to the pub. I'm bringing some of the blokes back after for a game of poker. Set the table up.
Anything you say.
Hello. I reserved a couple of books last time I was in. My name's Morris.
Oh, yes, I think they're in the... It won't be a moment, I'll just check for you.
We've got a Laura Gardner here.
Yes, that is Miss Gardner.
Miss Gardner? I'm Rob Tennant from Wilson Whiteley Collection Agents. Suppose you know why I'm here.
Well, no, I don't.
All right, if you want to play it like that, I'll remind you. Your creditors have hired us to collect their money, right?
Please, I don't understand.
I'm talking about $1,000 worth of credit that you've run up. Now, we're giving you 7 days to find that money. After that, we'll see you in court. Understand?
Yes.
Miss Gardner, I believe you were looking after this lady.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be all right.
No, I think you'd better go home, Miss Gardner. You're obviously too upset to go on with your work.
And then I fell off about 3 times in the first week. Everyone said I should get training wheels for the bike.
Gee, you're lucky, Mickey. Your life's so exciting.
I don't think I'd call falling off a motorbike exciting.
Well, you know what I mean. You've got a boyfriend, you can go wherever you like. Nothing ever happens to me.
Don't be so impatient. Do well. You made the first move. You're free now.
What more could a man ask? Hi. 2 gorgeous girls waiting to greet me.
I think he's on one of his turns again.
I am not. I thought I'd drop these off. Judy might have a use for them.
Oh, great. Are they yours?
Of course. Who else? Well, I'll see you 2 later.
Yeah, it's time for coffee.
Much as I'd enjoy your scintillating company, I'm in a rush. Bye.
Bye. Gee, he's a nice man.
Yeah, I'm pretty fond of him myself.
Have you known him for long?
All my life. He's my father.
Your father? But you're more like friends.
We are. He's the best mate I've got. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking, that's all.
This stuff's been on before. Dozens of times. What are you supposed to do with yourself with nothing on the telly?
Well, you could try reading a book, or you might even help Litza and Mickey.
You've got to be joking.
Go get it.
Hi, come in.
Busy?
No, not really.
Thought I'd come and see how my girls are acting out.
Yeah, well, there's coffee in the kitchen if you want some.
I was just saying what a boring night it was going to be, but things are looking up now you're here.
Thought you might want to go out for a drink. Yeah, listen to some music.
Sounds good to me. When are we leaving?
That'd be great, but I'd already said to Litza we'd play cards.
Oh, no, that's okay. You go ahead.
Well, why don't the 3 of us go? You wouldn't mind, would you, Cliff?
Oh, that'd be okay, I suppose.
Could I? That'd be fantastic. Thanks.
She doesn't get out much.
No kidding. You could never tell.
Let's have some coffee.
Well, looks like it's you and me and the telly tonight, kiddo.
Terrific.
Well, at least I had gas in that combi. Can you imagine those cops when you sputtered to a stop? They must have thought that Christmas had come.
Oh, yeah. I guess it did look pretty funny, like a sitting duck.
You gotta learn to roll with the punches, kiddo. Well, I mean, you could still make a fortune out of this whole deal.
Eh? Where do you figure that?
By writing a bestseller. How not to get away with daylight robbery.
Oh, you should talk. At least I didn't get caught by a dog.
I'm glad you 2 think it's so bloody funny. You're as old as I am, but you carry on like a 2-bob watch. Maxie buggers up her only chance of making something of her life, and you treat it like it's one bloody big joke.
Oh, come on, Lizzie. She was only trying to cheer me up.
And you need your backside kicking in too for listening to her. She's got no responsibility in her whole body. Oh, what's the use? I'll wash my hands of the 2 of you.
I think you're being a bit silly, love. I mean, why shouldn't they get on? They have to share a cell together.
Yeah, but why do they have to share a cell with me? Well, Bea, why can't I be in here with you, love?
You forget that. The screws think they're upsetting us. Well, they are. But let's just keep it a secret for the moment, eh?
Yeah, fair enough. But why did that silly little bugger have to wind up in here?
If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be in here myself. None of us would.
And of all the prisons in the world, that Maggie had to come to Wentworth.
Hey, hang on, you two are supposed to be friends.
Yeah, but it's not my fault that she's hard to get on with.
Oh, no, love, of course not.
Well, it's a bit late for social calls, isn't it, Lizzie?
Just a couple of minutes, Mrs. N.
I'm sorry, Lizzie. Back to your dorm. Lock-up time in 5 minutes.
God, I can't win a bloody trick around here.
Oh, she's in the miseries. What's the matter with her?
Oh, she'll bounce back again. She always does. At the moment, she's a bit low because Maxine's back inside.
Yes, well, we're all disappointed about that. What about you, B? You've always been close to Maxine.
Yeah, well, I think she's a little idiot. And right now, I'm mad at her too, but I'll get over it, I suppose.
Good night.
Night.
Hey, boy. Steady.
Oh, no worries, mate. Just have a fridge full. Seems a pity to take his money and his beer, eh? Oh, don't worry about it, mate. He'll through it.
That's all we need.
Well, looks like the end of a quiet night. Well, I'm going to bed. Anybody else going?
You gotta be kidding. I'm going out. See if I can get some action.
At this time of the night?
It's only 11:30. You don't call that late, do you? Or have we got to clock in at midnight?
Well, not officially, but I do like everyone to be in by about 1 o'clock. I'm a bit of a worrier.
Yeah, well, if you're going to have rules, they ought to be for everyone. That little Sucklitza's still out. You going to say anything to her?
Why don't you let me decide that?
Well, it's not bloody fair. Mickey's supposed to be helping all of us with our problems, not just spending all the time with Litza.
You got problems, friend?
Of course I have. Bloody hundreds of them. Only no one wants to listen.
Well, I will.
What?
Well, that's what I'm here for, right? Come on, honey. You tell me all about it.
3 queens. Too good for lookers. Oh, so lucky. What? Carol! Get off your bum and do something. Carol!
What is it?
We're out of beer. And how about something to eat? What are you trying to do? Starve us to death or something?
I'll tell you what, some sangers would go down real
Yes,
well.
I didn't know. I mean, we've only got a couple of slices of bread.
What do you mean you didn't know? I told you this afternoon.
Yeah, but you sprung it on me too late to go to the shops. If you'd asked me properly once in a while...
Oh, you useless bitch. I'm sick of your excuses. You're no bloody good.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I reckon she'd go real well with the right fella. How about it, Carol? Like me to put the smile back on your face?
Tell you what, I'd watch it, mate. Old Dezz'll hang one on you if he gets you putting a hard word on his missus.
You reckon? What are you meant to be doing? We playing cards or not, eh?
So they took him off me. Made him a ward of the state. 2 years old he was.
Poor little kid. You ever get to see him?
No point. I couldn't look after him anyhow.
Well, maybe not now, you couldn't, but if you got a job, and you could always live here with us.
Hi. We thought everyone'd still be in bed.
Now, how could I sleep knowing you two are out in the tiles?
Oh, Judy, we had a fantastic time. We danced all night, the music was deafening, and Cliff had all these funny stories to tell. We didn't know it was getting this late.
Yeah, it's past 2 o'clock.
Oh, don't worry, I won't make a habit of it.
I hope not.
It was great, Judy. You should have been there.
We weren't asked. What is it with you anyhow, Litza? You slumming or something?
What do you mean?
I mean, what the hell are you doing here? You've got a family and a home to go to, and the only trouble you're in is you're spoiled rotten. Why don't you go home and leave this place to the people who really need it?
Sounds like my cue to cut out.
Maybe I should leave too.
No, love, don't be silly. Look, Fran's got a lot of trouble. She's just taking it out on you, that's all.
But she's right, Judy. It's only causing trouble me being here.
That's nonsense. Of course it is. Look, we're used to trouble here. Anyway, Fran doesn't make the decisions who stays here. I do. Now, you've got a lot of problems, too. And if we can help you, you can stay here as long as you like.
Thanks, Judy.
Okay, now how about we all hit the sack?
I suppose I'd be pushing my luck if I asked you whether that meant me as well.
You certainly would. Uphill all the way.
See you tomorrow. Sleep tight. You don't have much choice around here.
Des, for God's sake, it's nearly 6 o'clock.
The missus will kill me.
Please, my daughter will be getting up soon. Haven't you had enough?
Okay, beautiful, we're going. Come on, Kent.
Right. Hey, what's going on? Where you going? You gotta give me a chance to get my money back.
What money? This was all you had left, mate. Listen, we gotta go. See you down the pub later.
Yeah. Carol, don't worry about us. We'll show ourselves out.
Hey, we'll do it again next week, all right?
Yeah, copy it.
Look, how could you do that to me?
What?
That vase, it was the last of our wedding presents. You've lost everything else.
Oh, shut up, will you? Don't nag me when I'm feeling like this. You smell real good in the morning.
Des, no.
Real.
Des, no, I don't want to, please.
Shut up.
Good morning.
Hi.
Oh, dear, you're at it nice and early.
Well, I thought after last night it might be a good idea if everyone saw me doing some work.
Meaning Fran.
Well, she did come on a bit heavy.
Yeah, well, she has a point, I'm afraid. Honey, the secret of this job is to remain impartial. Now, I know it's not easy not to pick favorites, but you are going overboard with Litza.
Well, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I'm supposed to help the women with their problems, aren't I?
Yeah, the women. That's plural, not just one person.
But I've really got a chance to help her, Judy. I mean, I can show her a completely different lifestyle than the one her father's trying to push her into.
Maybe you can, but please, not at the expense of the other women.
Litza needs me. Frances doesn't.
How do you know that? You haven't even given her a chance.
Oh, well, I don't see how I'm supposed to play Mother Confessor to more than one person at the same time.
Well, you're going to have to try, Mickey. That's part of the job.
I think I'm going to take a walk.
Kennedy, you have a visitor? Your solicitor?
Great. Oh, I'll be right there.
Feeling any better today, Lizzie?
Yeah, on top of the world. Bloody good riddance to bad rubbish.
Hey, do you really reckon she's going to get out of here?
If I had my way, she'd be out quicker than a bullock at a butcher's picnic.
Well, I'll miss her if she does go. I mean, I reckon she's real good fun. Not like some people around here.
Ah, but then you never were not of your good judgment, were you? Now, how about you get back to work? That is, if you can remember how.
Right, here you are. How long do you think you'll be?
Oh, not too long. Look, perhaps I could just knock on the door.
Right, I'll leave you to it then.
Good.
Oh, Mr. Perkins, you have no idea how delighted I am to see you. Now, what is happening to my case?
Well, perhaps we should sit down first, eh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I guess you can tell how anxious I am.
Well, I don't blame you in the slightest for that, Mrs. Kennedy. Well, now, are you ready for some good news?
Believe me, that's all I'm ready for. Well, what's the story?
Well, of course, there's nothing definite yet, but it seems there are moves from the American consulate to officially request your extradition.
I knew it. Oh, I knew they wouldn't let me stew here. That's good old American know-how for you.
Yes, quite. Of course, there's no mention of your acquittal, and you do understand that even if you are extradited, you'll have to serve the remainder of your sentence in the United States.
Mr. Perkins, you don't know how things work back home. Once I get there, I can really start the ball rolling. Why, I've got contacts, people who can pull strings for me to even get me a new trial. And they won't convict me again. The whole of the States revolves round mom and apple pie. It'll be practically treason to put me away. And even if they did, I'd soon be out on parole.
Mrs. Kennedy, are you suggesting something illegal?
Mr. Perkins, perish the thought. No, I am only trying to establish my innocence. I have never had any trouble with the law in my life. Well, you believe in my innocence, don't you?
Yes, of course I do.
Well, then, all I need is a judge or a parole board, just like you.
Well, I appreciate your faith in me, Mrs. Kennedy, but I must stress that there's nothing definite yet.
And I don't want to get your hopes up. Far better to take things one step at a time.
Well, that is just what I am going to do. Now, I wonder if I could ask a favor of you. Would you slip this out to the newspapers for me?
Oh? What is it?
Well, it's step number 1. An open letter asking for my release.
Well, I don't know. It's highly irregular.
Mr. Perkins, don't you trust me? You know I wouldn't ask you to do anything that would compromise you.
Well, I certainly hope not.
Well, then.
Let me see now.
Well, I don't see why I can't help you. You never minded me helping you in the past.
Well, I do now. I can manage on me own.
Crikey, you're pig-headed.
Makes 2 of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Morris.
It's all right, Kennedy. It's my job.
California, here I come.
I thought it was Florida.
That's a song, you stupid drongo.
He didn't give you any argument about taking it?
He was happy to. And he says they're already talking about extradition. Once your letter hits the press, things will really snowball.
Well, good for you.
And I owe it all to you, Bee. No, I won't forget. I always pay my dues.
Well, as long as you get out of here and don't ever come back. Not like some people.
Will you give it a rest?
You reckon you're going home?
Sure looks like it.
And Bee fixed it for you.
Well, she helped. She's been a real pal.
That's because she thinks you're innocent. But I know you from old. I reckon you knew you were carrying that heroin. Right or wrong? Yeah, thought so. You just wait till Bee finds out. She'll have your guts for garters. But you wouldn't tell her, Lizzie. I mean, we're mates. Wouldn't I just? I like to choose my mates. And you're not on my list.
I've never seen her so low. It's not like her.
For goodness sake, stop worrying about it. If Lizzie is fighting with someone, you can be pretty sure it'll blow over in a day or 2.
Get your hands off me, you creep. I can walk.
Sounds like fun. Oh, my God.
God, what a dump.
Thank you. Oh, haven't you been a busy little girl? Soliciting, assaulting an officer, resisting arrest, and contempt of court all in the one night. What do you do in your spare time?
I'd tell you, but you wouldn't have the talent for it.
Come and stand on the white line. Come on, hurry it up. You are Brandy Sherry Carter, is that correct?
That's right.
You are charged with soliciting, assaulting an
You
officer...
getting a good eyeful? Let me know when you've seen enough. I'll sell tickets next time.
You are charged with soliciting, assaulting an officer, resisting arrest.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines.